Hi guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, folks, everybody. Thanks for making the conscious decision to open this video. Um, Before I begin with actual content, let me just tell you the, the content of the video is purely, if there's any opinion voiced, it is my opinion. Um, what I'm going to be speaking about is my reaction as a semi-civilized person to react to what went on in South Africa's Parliament yesterday during budget presentation, or whatever it is they call the thing to pass a budget. Yeah, please understand. I'm not trying to um, voice an opinion. I'm merely reflecting what I saw. Um, Pretty much since June last year, with the national elections, I've not been mad about following South African politics, but I have been following South African politics fairly closely. Um, there have been a couple of things that have happened that any normal, sane person, my opinion, would find disturbing. However, yesterday, for the first time, I made a point of being sure to watch a parliamentary sitting, a cabinet sitting. Um, what should have taken 45 minutes ended up taking over 4.5 hours. I did not watch all of it because I had things to do, so I went off once or twice during the actual um, cabinet sitting. Um, the sitting was all about the passing of the budget, which didn't make it through on the 12th of March or the 19th of March with amendments, and the various parties got to have their say about what was happening. What was interesting to me is that at least 3 or 4 parties, I didn't count them, all objected to the tabling of the legislation based on the same rule, in as much as um, the way in which this was being portrayed, being brought across, was procedurally procedurally flawed. In other words, shortcuts were taken. Shortcuts were taken. Notes that should have been attached weren't attached. Notes that weren't attached became attached. So there was a lot of, in my opinion, um, crookery going on. The lead party in the South African government, National Unity, wanted the budget to go through at any cost, and they were prepared to bulldoze, bully, force the way through. Other parties came up in opposition of it. Um, the bill eventually went to the vote, and it was passed 196 to 184, if I remember correctly.
Wasn't it 96 and
'Cause
82? Oh, the
the,
difference was 12.
the difference was 12. I think,
82 and 94.
well, yeah, whatever it was, in my opinion, a very close call. I'm sure that there are some of the more woke media that are going to say it was a landslide victory for democracy. I don't believe that, because what this bill is in effect doing is making poor people poorer. Um, their VAT increases, their taxation increases. Um, there is no, in my opinion, again, government should slash their own expenditure. They haven't done that. There are no business-friendly clauses in the new budget. Um, all that this has done is make poor people poorer. And sadly, and this is the part that really upset me, is, okay, initially I was outraged because the speaker chose to overrule the objecting parties because they were pointing out flawed procedures. absolutely outraged at that. I was shocked, horrified, and disgusted at the way the supporters of the winning vote carried on once the result was made official. When the result was announced, certain factions within Parliament were carrying on like little children. It was absolutely disgusting. It was as if they're saying, uh, yeah, screw the little guy. We're keeping our cars, we're keeping our houses, we're keeping access to the funds that we can get to so we can steal it. Stuff you. I find that very disturbing. I may do more political content. I may not. Um, that this particularly disturbed me more than any of the recent nonsense that's been happening in South Africa.
Because we are struggling.
Because we are struggling. The fact of the matter is that we should have paid rent 3 days ago. We haven't yet because we haven't got the money. Um,
We've had
we,
some help from friends, which
we,
we're very grateful for,
yeah,
but we're still
we've had
short.
quite a lot of help from several friends.
I
We
mean,
are
now
extremely grateful
recently
for that,
toward this rent, but we're still a bit short.
but we are still short. And it, I said this before, we're struggling, but there are people worse off than us.
There
So,
are very many people who
that,
are struggling who we've
um,
met.
yeah, yeah, and I'm extremely grateful for what we've got, and I'm extremely grateful for the assistance that we get. But man, people, there are people worse off than us, and that upsets me. Anyway, if you want more content like this, subscribe, share, uh, yeah, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, comment, like, do what you got to do. If you don't like it, move on. Thanks, guys.